seen the movie Van Wilder. And my brain went college, partying, bars, Oswego, Van Wilder. Apparently, that character, Van Wilder, which I didn't know, maybe you guys did, was actually based off Bert Kreischer in an article that the New York Post did on him in 2014 or something like that. There was, or maybe no, Rolling Stone. Rolling Stone did the article on Bert Kreischer a while ago, and because of that and how wild he was, they kind of took that and made Van Wilder a little like off that story. So it's not actual Bert, but based kind of off a story from Bert.
Interesting.
So, because Van Wilder came out early 2000s?
Yeah, like 20 years ago, if not more.
And I don't remember when Bert became relevant, but I want to say it was probably mid 2000 teens or whatever.
Yep.
This was 2002, April 5th, 2002. Van Wilder came out. So here,
I'm confused. Am I did I do a little too much wake and bake this morning, or is that timeline not mathing to me? Am I confused, or am I just stupid, or both? I don't. So, how did Rolling Stones know of a story to influence Van Wilder before the movie came out?
So right here, because Bert was in his 6th year at Florida State in the late 90s. He got a call. Yeah, it wasn't Bert Kreischer the comedian. It was Bert Kreischer the animal at Florida State. This is an article from New York Post, and it says the headline is "The Real Life Van Wilder," and it says, "What does it take to be named America's greatest partier? A strong liver for one. The ability to summon literally thousands of people to a house party is good. A spread in the Rolling Stone magazine won't hurt." And that's what happened to Bert Kreischer during his 6th year at Florida State University in the late 90s. He got a call as he was in the middle of doing bong hits, naturally, from a magazine journalist interested in writing about Florida State University after it had been named the country's top party school. Kreischer's name had been mentioned by almost every single student, so the writer wanted to speak about him.
Get the fuck out of here.
So the resulting article called The Undergraduate, which detailed Kreischer's out-of-control drinking, merrymaking, and public nudity, made him a star and inspired the 2002 Ryan Reynolds movie National Lampoon's Van Wilder. And apparently, he even mentioned it on one of the podcasts that he's on or does or whatever, that he still has never seen the movie.
First of all, that's a crime in itself. How do you not see Van Wilder? I mean, I guess if you lived it, then, what have you. And Tara Reid hasn't aged gracefully either. So, but man, I don't know. That's nuts. So, I know, the whole machine story, everyone's like, hey, is he exaggerating on that story a little bit? Is he, but fuck, man, he is a legend. Fucking bow down to him. He's funny. He's a legend. He can drink and looks good shirtless.
It's comedy, dude. Most bits are all made up. What's the old saying? Never let facts get in the way of a good story.
True. Nowadays, it's hard, though, because everybody, I feel like as people are, even as people were listening to us tell the story about Bert Kreischer, they were either Googling, they paused their phone, they pulled up their phone and like, Bert Kreischer went to Florida State? There's no way Bert Kreischer is inspired. You know what I mean? In this day and age, it's so hard to fact check everything. Not like the bar talk where you could go sit at a bar when your phone could only call and text, and probably could smoke some cigarettes in the bar still. Maybe you still can in some states, probably can in Texas or Alabama, Roll Tide. And you know what I mean? You didn't fact check and everything. I don't know. I know me and Burley, I think, talked about this at one point where it was like bar conversations were so awesome. Whether you were, arguing drunk over the best baseball player and this and that, you couldn't just pull up your phone and say, no, this is the best player because of these stats. You were just going off what all these old guys said, and man, did those old motherfuckers give me such bad advice looking back.
Well, do you guys remember the Simpsons episode where, or I guess it was a South Park episode where they were saying, hey, the Simpsons did it because there's no new idea because the Simpsons have already done it. I feel like that sometimes with these TikToks, because I've never seen the show The Love is Blind. You guys know me. I don't watch a lot of TV.
I don't even know what that is, but okay.
They haven't watched it either.
It's a reality show. They haven't watched it. It's stupid. But they... so I made a TikTok a month ago and about something that happened at work, and they're like, that didn't actually happen. But it looks like somebody just watched The Love Is Blind, and I'm like, what? I was like, no, I what is that show? And I had like 4 or 5 people. They're like, it looks like somebody's watched Love Is Blind. They're like, and quit lying, that didn't happen. And I'm like, what the fuck? What is The Love Is Blind? And I see all these people. Obviously, you know what the premise is. It looks like the Bachelorette for the blind.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it seems like every time that's happened multiple times where I make a video or something, they're like, oh, you ripped this off from this. And I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck that is. What is this? Hate it. Fucking hate it.